like 3,000 cars for 15 hours traffic jam. We're moving out of the area just to escape and to evacuate. People are killed every minute. And the friend who was traveling, who was going out of this area one day before me, he said he had explosions and like people fighting the drones 5 meters right in front of him. And he lost his senses for like a minute or so because of the explosion wave that he had on his body. There were explosions nearby, no electricity, no gas. Trains were cancelled and kids were evacuated from the area. And I didn't know if the road will be still open to go out or if it will be closed. Today I'm filming this safe in another country, and I want to share how I survived this crisis situation, this stressful situation, living in a war zone. If you're living through a crisis right now, listen to the end and I will share the practices I was doing to stay sane under the high pressure, under the super stressful conditions I experienced 2 weeks ago. You don't need this video in a week. You need this video now. It's very important, guys. 90% of people, they don't lose their belongings in crisis. They lose their minds. They lose their tranquility. They lose the silence in their brain. This inability to think properly, it kills opportunity to survive and opportunity to thrive under the stressful conditions. So stay till the end. I'll give you the system that I created for myself, not only in this situation, but in many crises before. You will be able to feel clarity and make proper, fast decisions based on your values. How to react, how to thrive, not survive. I will tell my personal story, how I went back to my home country during the conflict. This video will be useful for people who live abroad or who want to live abroad, maybe for those who are in a war conditions right now or who are thinking to visit their relatives who are there, and also for people who are under the stress and who need to know fast instruments how to get back to normal even after crazy situations. I work online for 13 years. I create online courses. I help people, entrepreneurs, to scale without burnout. I teach emotional regulation. I teach somatic release. And I need to work with my clients online, and I cannot do that. And I'm a responsible person. Everything was too tough on my nervous system, but even with less sleep, I could handle my emotions. I could create bold decisions. I could move. I could find a transportation, people who helped me all the way to another country, because it was a really difficult task with no gas, and the prices went like 10 times higher on everything. People who were driving like one day before me through the area, like to go out from this area, they felt explosions nearby. I didn't want this traumatic experience for my nervous system because I'm too sensitive for that. I could pass the danger with a calm mind and without any panic attacks or without depression, So I can share my experience of how you can do the same, maybe in a stressful situation. Actually, living under these conditions, like danger for life, it's very stressful for your mind. One girl told me, I cannot build anything under those stressful conditions right now during the conflict, the war conflict. I understand her opinion, because during the war, all your mind wants to do is to protect you and help you to survive, not to thrive, not to grow in your income and your business. Those instruments that I will mention today will help you to grow during the crisis. I mean, financial crisis will be there soon. I feel like that. Also, I will share the tips and tricks. How can you decide when to leave the dangerous country or area, how I decided what signs of danger were important for me to decide to leave my house. I had the perfect big house with a garden, my family house in a national park near the ocean, near the mountains. So it was beautiful. I just had my plants coming, my flowers in my garden, and I didn't want to go anywhere. In 1 week after the escalation of the conflict started, I grabbed one of my luggages and I went out of the country in a really dangerous spot where the area was like 10 times more dangerous than my home. Because to go out of the area, I needed to go through this danger. And that was the most difficult part to accept, because one day before the train that is going out from the area, I was thinking, what if I die during this like train trip? Because the drones and the explosions were there, and I thought, I don't want this experience, but I need to go because I don't want this experience in my house. It can be in a week or so, or maybe in a month, I don't know, but I don't want to experience this with my body, with my sensitive nervous system. I need to go as soon as possible, even if it's super dangerous. That was a hard decision to make. So you need some instruments to be in a flow state, to grow in your income, in your life, even during the war or during the stressful situation you have in your life. You need to understand how it works, your flow state. You need to calm your mind and observe the thoughts. You need to accept the situation. You need to connect to your body. You need to regulate your nervous system every day, check on it every time. And you need to know how to be in a resourceful state and how to fall asleep faster. So I fell asleep only because I know the exercise for that. I just tell you the story, tell you what instruments I use, and later I will, in next videos, I will share exact instruments and share with you on my workshops too. Free workshops I have every month. You can join online, and also my programs. Let me tell you the full story short. I live abroad for 9 years. I traveled 34 countries, and I felt really, really lonely. I was missing my home country and my relatives, my parents, my brother, my friends. I went back to my home country 1 year ago to visit my family, and I already knew that it has a conflict, but the conflict was meaning to end, but then the politics changed and it was continuing. The situation was crazier with each month, and 1 month it was like you cannot use internet without special services because it's blocked. Your mobile internet doesn't work. Then like a week before going, because of the explosion nearby, the electricity shut off for all the area, like for thousands of homes. No Wi-Fi, no electricity, no gas, and I couldn't work. It's my sixth great relocation in my life, and I know how to pack things in one luggage, but emotionally it's very difficult every time because you lose everything you created: friendships, belongings, everything, your daily rituals. You need to start over again in a new place. In this situation, when everyone is panicking, the one road that was leading to the exit from this area was blocked with cars, and I was planning my trip knowing that people were in a horrible mental situation back then. 2 weeks ago, they took their parents, their children, all the luggages, and I think it was 1,000 people in the train station I was departing from. I wish you guys don't know how this is, but if you know, please give me info in the comments. Maybe you had the same situation in your life. You understand the situation now. You understand what the feeling is, and the train is going through the bridge that is attacked by the drones like 24/7. Explosions are everywhere, and like 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago, like the train had explosion with dozens of people dead, and Everyone in the train were really scared if we survive this bridge or no. We survived the bridge, and after that, the explosion was near the train, and my friend who was coming by the car after the train, he was following us. He saw the explosions after the train, the same road. So we were lucky we didn't had this explosion on the train. I'm telling you this, and I'm really like, kind of, it was in a previous life, but it was like 2 weeks ago. I think all the train was praying, and people were hearing the sound of explosion near the train that night. Let me tell you about the instruments, about the exercises I did before the departure. I did in the train and in the airplane, because airplanes were also the last airplanes and the last trains, because they were canceling because of lack of gas and the danger in the area. They were canceling the flights and the trains, and I was lucky to take the last opportunities. So about the instruments I was doing, I can share with you professionally, because I learned cognitive behavioral therapy several years ago, and I practice it every day, and I share it with my clients in my mentorship with the entrepreneurs. They have really good results in scaling their business without burnout and without procrastination and perfectionism. Here is the system that keeps me sane, even if everything around is on fire. So the first instrument I created myself and for my clients, it's a scale of resource. So imagine there is a scale. Here is the green state when you are 10 out of 10. Here, 10 out of 10 resource, maybe 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. You're in a resourceful state. You slept well. You're productive. You're in a flow. You work better. You can grow. You can thrive. So after that, you can see the yellow zone of your inner state. Maybe you're not so productive, but still you are doing your thing. Good. This is kind of like from 6 to 8 points out of 10, resourceful state. And red zone is from 0 to 4. It's when you feel exhausted, when you're not so productive, and when you need to push yourself to work. Most of the people are working now in the red zone, and this is not good. I wish everyone working in the green zone, but the reality is different. And the lowest is the black zone of resource, is under 0, when your body is already sick, when you are in a hospital, when you are like ill, and mentally or physically. So the red zone leads to the black zone. You should never continue working on a red zone. So if you have red zone today, you feel your resource is low, you should reschedule your sessions with the difficult clients. You should do your mindfulness exercises to go back to yellow zone, and not to continue to go to the dead zone, to the black zone, because it's horrible. I created this because my mom was having a stroke when I was 18, and analyzing the past, I understand that she was in the red zone all her life, and in the black zone when she had a stroke and had these problems with her body. Like, she is disabled till now, and she cannot live her full life because my father cares about her and lives for both of them. So please be careful, be mindful of your resource, scale yourself every day. And if you have red zone, you need to come back to yellow. You need to rest more, sleep more, do mindfulness exercise, go to nature, watch the sunset. Now I'm watching the ocean and the sunset is near. Anyways, you know what to do. Let's go to the next instrument. So during the situation I told you about, I was in the red zone. And what I did to stop this red zone, I rescheduled my clients and my workshops for like 1 week or 2. I created a plan how to go out of this situation. I did my mindfulness exercises twice more than usual. I told the people who were around me to support me. I was praying to God. This is a 100% working exercise, to pray for God's help. This is very important for your subconscious mind to believe in something that helps you. Even if you are not a religious person, just try it. Connect to something that is higher and believe in something bigger and in the best, that something cares about you, that something will help you. To sleep, I used an exercise that is about 4 focuses of attention. So the breath is your first focus, and you choose 3 other. For example, you can choose thinking about your arm or your forehead or your leg. So you try this exercise, this help you 100%. So try to focus on 4 points. One of them is breath, with your eyes closed, and that stops your mind and fall asleep in like 10 minutes maximum. So about breathing, I think you know this technique, Wim Hof technique. I do it for 6 years every day, or different ones. Sometimes Wim Hof, sometimes like you can do it with a humming. It will be even better. Physiological sigh. It's called physiological sigh. You can Google it. Next instrument you should do is acceptance practice. So you need to accept the situation, to go through the situation. I cannot tell you the details of this process because it takes time. But in the next videos, please subscribe and follow me for the next videos. Also on Instagram, I have the same nickname, Mila Natalie, and you will see the short videos about mindfulness and growth in your business and your money. Next instrument, your mind starts to catastrophize things. It starts to really get like things bigger than they are. You imagine the worst case scenario, but how to stop this? You need to just observe your thoughts. You observe your thoughts like clouds in the air. You just think like, okay, this is the thought about war. This is the thought about money. This is the thought about relationships. You categorize your thoughts, and it gives you the space between you and your thoughts. Next, your routine. You need to focus more on something that brings you joy. Go more to the nature. I was going like to the hiking trips, just to absorb the energy of the nature, the peace that is in this forest with a view to the ocean, on the mountains. It was so beautiful, lakes. So please go to the nature. Our eyes, they need to look at the horizon to parasympathetic system to calm down. So if you focus onto something like, for example, news, please switch off the news and come to the news like once a day. If you are in a war zone, please decide to go. If something is going worse, for example, transportation canceled, that was the sign for me to go right now, like the next day. Choose the signs that are like alarming for you to go, and evacuate. You need to check the news maybe once a day, maybe twice a day, okay, but not like constantly looking at the bombs and drones, because you can go insane, like if you are super sensitive. If you are still there and you're not evacuating, you decided to stay, as my parents, for example, and my brother, they didn't want to go. They are in the different city, and the city is a little bit safer for now, and they decided to stay. And it's okay if you're decided to stay, but focus on the nature, on your body, on something that gives you joy. Okay, maybe you're singing, maybe you're dancing, maybe you're doing yoga. So please focus on something that gives you resource, because you need more resource in this situation. If you want to receive resource in a mindfulness practice, it's called the cup of kindness. I can give it for free for you if you message in the WhatsApp group I have for this. The link will be down below. You can receive the cup of kindness, mindfulness meditation, and you will feel self-love. You will feel supported. You will feel kindness to yourself. It is scientifically based practice, proven on thousands of people. It's not my meditation. It's like the doctors of psychology created it. You can follow my voice or record your own voice to do this every day. Actually, I did it every day. Another practice that I did every day is emotional surfing. When I had the stress, the peak of the stress, when I had anxiety and fear, I did an emotional surfing. Emotional surfing will be in the course. I will share with you when the course will start, but to know the dates and to know what will be inside, you can, if you want, to share your details in the Google form below, and we will contact you later when it will be ready. The course about emotional efficacy, about how to calm your emotions, how to control your mind. There will be a lot of different scientifically based exercises for everyday use. And the course will be short and effective and productive, and it will help you to live through the stressful situations at work, in relationships, when you want to overeat, or when you want to drink, smoke in a stressful situations. You will be relieved. You don't need to do that because you know how to handle with your emotions through those small exercises you can learn. Okay, this is a mindfulness skill everyone need to have in this crazy world to stay sane. Okay, I will attach the Google form and you can leave your details, and we will contact you when the course will be ready, and you will have the best price for it because you watched this video and you already know something about that. Okay, and the last instrument you can try right now with me, it's progressive muscle relaxation. You need to tense your muscle and release. For example, your arms tense with me now and release, and you can feel through the body that you release the tension. You release the tension. You can do it with the different parts of your body first, and then all the body tense and release. And your cortisol level drops and you feel more relaxed and you start to think properly. And if you want to do the body work, the somatic therapy, I created an online course already like a year ago. It's really cheap. It's $19, I think. I can share the link here so you can buy. And it has a lot of somatic work exercises to release emotions through your body if you need. And the last part that I wanted to tell you, it's about finances in a crisis, because most people, they don't move from their country even if it's war in the country, because they don't have enough money or they are scared to go to another countries because they think it's too expensive. Right now we have a challenge of growing twice in your finances in 1 month. If you want details, please message me. And if you need a personal consultation about what is the plan for you and your business to grow twice in 1 month, please message me. I can consult you. And this is what I'm doing. Last time I did this challenge, like growing twice in 1 month, I did it like 3 years ago, and it has crazy huge success in terms of my income and the income of my clients who were participating. So one client scaled 10 times a month, another one 300 times in 2 months. So it's a lot. And as a business mentor, I worked with influencers like 15 million subscribers. I worked with millionaires who are scaling from $10 million a month to $20 million a month, and also with beginners too. So don't be shy to message me, to ask me how to grow in your finances. I'm thinking to make the next video will be about scaling fast, because in a stressful situation, you need to be productive to scale fast, but you need to know how to do it right, because you already have a lot of stress, right? So I will be sharing the exact instruments I use and my clients use in the next video. The conclusion: if you are thinking whether to go or to stay, please listen to your soul. Do the mindfulness practices I shared and somatic release. Feel the intuitive choice you need to do, and also make the choice based on your values. How to make the choice based on your values, it will be in the course too, in the emotional efficacy course that I'm launching soon. Maybe you need to be more popular. Maybe you need to move to another country. Maybe you're scared of being influencer or being rich. It's also a danger for your mind, subconscious mind. But being in physical danger and being in like kind of fantasy danger, that leads to procrastination and perfectionism, I would choose being in this danger. I mean, like, step into uncertainty, go to another country, start your YouTube channel, start your new business, grow in money, but not staying in the physical danger, because physical danger means you can die. Anything is better than dying, right? You can message in the comments if you agree with me or no. To finish this video, I want to remind you about Viktor Frankl, who survived the conditions that were crazy to survive, not because he was stronger than anyone else, but because he found the sense, the meaning why he needs this.